What's up guys, Joust here again with the second part in our level 10 guide to the 4 legends on Chronicle RuneScape Legends. This time we're here with Ariane. Ariane focuses around getting loads of cards to use different spell effects. The main one is Earth Blast. This is your finisher with the deck. It's 8 gold and the opponent's going to take double your hand size in damage. So if you've got the maximum of 10 cards in hand, you'll do 20 damage to them straight off the bat. So that's really good if you can spend the first half of the game getting them down 10 health from 30 down to 20, then you can just drop this with a full hand and basically knock them straight out of the game out of the blue. So we're going to go straight up to the top and walk you guys through it. The first card is Alchemy. This is works in combination with Geeka, so I'm going to mention them at the same time. Basically, Geeka is the only weapon in the deck. It's basically used because it's a free weapon. You don't have to spend any gold, it's not going to use any of your gold reserves up. And then you can combo it with Alchemy, and it'll get rid of the Geeka weapon and give you 5 gold straight off the back. So you've used 2 cards and got 5 gold out of it, which is pretty good way to getting you that 8 gold for the Earth Blast. The reason this combo works well as well is because if you get Geeka on its own and don't find the Alchemy, you can always just use it to fight things with 3 health. There's a couple of things with 3 health in the deck, or things with 5 health will go down in 2 hits instead of 3 hits because you start with 2 basic attack. So that works very well as a combo. If you get Alchemy on its own with not any Geekas, it's kind of okay. Your main strategy in the deck is drawing loads of cards, so it's okay to have a couple that you're just in hand, you're not going to play. That's a really good part of this deck, is that some of your cards can be non-situational because you're only playing a couple of cards a turn, whereas you're trying to draw a lot more just to power up that Earth Blast. Ali Morrisane is the next card. Basically, Ali Morrisane is kind of running every deck at the moment because it's 3 gold and you get it basically for free. There's no cost apart from lose weapon. Obviously, you don't play this straight after you play the Geeka, but seeing as the Geeka gets used when you attack or when you play Alchemy, there's plenty of ways to get rid of your Geeka before you play Ali Morrisane, or if you play Ali Morrisane first, that's fine. Both are good to play on turn 1, either the Ali Morrisane or the Geeka, then the Alchemy, because that'll get you a nice influx of gold that you can start doing things with later in the game. Next one is Windstrike. This is basically 0 gold, do 3 health. It's a good card because you still have to get that 10 damage in before you Earth Blast. Doing Earth Blast and then the 10 damage, while that's absolutely fine, the opponent's more likely to go, I need to react to this and maybe heal up if he's on 10 health rather than 20. So in my opinion of the deck, it's better to do the damage, 10 damage early first before you Earth Blast rather than the other way around. And Windstrike helps you do that because it doesn't use any gold and it does 3 health to them straight away. It's also fine to play after Earth Blast because technically it's card per damage ratio is better than Earth Blast. If you keep it in your hand, it's only going to do 2 damage because it's 1 card. If you play it on its own, it's going to do 3 damage. So if you can play Earth Blast and Windstrike in the same turn, be wary of that because it might get you that extra 1 damage you need to beat the opponent. With Mind Bomb, this is played quite often right before you Earth Blast, because playing Earth Blast uses a card out of your hand, so you need to play something that refills your hand before the Earth Blast. Wizard Mind Bomb's great for that. It's only 1 gold, you will lose 2 health, but again you're trying to beat the opponent before he beats you, so losing 2 health, not really that big of a problem. And you'll draw 3 cards. This is great to play at any stage of the game, because having more cards means more options. With this is the first draw card, so I'll mention watch out for overdrawing. You can only have 10 cards in hand, so if you can end one turn on 7 cards, that'll be perfect because it'll fill your hand up to 10 when you draw 3 for your start of your turn, you'll have the maximum amount of options for next turn, and you won't be missing any cards. I believe they get discarded if you are supposed to draw 3 for your start of turn but can't, but I might be wrong on that. But the fact of the matter is you'll still be getting less options for free, so watch out for that. Lady Heffin, this is the sort of opposite Earth Blast, which is really good for survivability in the deck. So you can spend the first couple of chapters just building up your gold reserves, building up your cards. The opponent will spend that time trying to knock you down, might get you down to about 10, 12 health. If you can drop a Lady Heffin, it only uses 3 of your gold that you've stocked so far. It'll heal double your cards in hand. So if you've got 10 cards in hand, when you activate this, you'll heal 20 health, which is a big chunk of your 30. So if you see yourself getting low before you can play Earth Blast, don't be afraid to play Lady Heffin. Spend the rest of that turn trying to rebuild up again, and Earth Blast the next turn if you think it might be risky. Earth Blast, this is again the card that gets mentioned a lot in this video. It's your finisher. Be wary of when you play it and how you play it, but that's something you'll learn as you play the deck. It's a really good card, and it's going to be very notorious. A lot of people I've seen get really salty when they're like, Earth Blast is too powerful. But there are a lot of ways to combo it, more than possibly other finishers, because it's got that high gold cost, it's got that high hand cost, and it only does 20, not 30. So if you can stay above 10, that'll also mitigate a lot of the damage potential it has. So it's got weaknesses, but it is still probably the strongest card in the deck, so watch out for that. Getting into the fight cards, 2 Black Arm Bandits. This is pretty simple. You kill them with your 2 attack that you start off with. It gives you 2 gold. You're trying to get up to 8 gold to use Earth Blast. So pretty simple on that. Mischievous Imp does the same thing as Black Arm Bandit, but half the gold. But it also draws you a card. That's important in this deck because you want to be refilling your hand, keep on drawing so that you have the max amount of cards when you Earth Blast. So Mischievous Imp, very good card as well. Skeletal Peon, sort of the other side of Mischievous Imp, with Black Arm Bandit on one side, Mischievous Imp in the middle. Skeletal Peon's on the other side, doesn't give you any gold, but it does draw you 2 cards, which are also very good to play just before you Earth Blast, because you play this, then Earth Blast, you'll kill this with ease, draw 2 cards for the 2 cards you've spent that turn, and they can Earth Blast for a full 20. Crawling Hand. This might seem a little bit odd until I explain the cards later in the fight section, but basically it's got 1 damage, 3 health, and you'll gain 3 temporary attack. You might be thinking here, why would I want temporary attack? I won't be fighting the enemy, I'm trying to kill them with Earth Blast, but there are a couple of things that have 5 health in this deck that you really want to be able to kill in one, because otherwise they're going to do a lot of damage to you. And taking 1 damage off this to get that bonus is a happy trade to make. Skeletal Warrior is the next card. This is good because it gives you 3 gold. This is probably the weakest card in the deck, although it's still very good. If you have a spare Geeker, you haven't found the Alchemy, you can play the Geeker, hit this, you'll do the 3 damage to it and get 3 gold for free. Failing that, you'll take 4 damage and kill it in 2 hits, but still get the 3 gold, and if you need gold for Earth Blast, this is a fine card to take damage from. Troll Chucker, this is the other card that you can use Geekers on if you don't find Alchemies. Also gives you a gold, but also does 4 damage, so it's sort of like the Wind Strike. It's going to do that little bit of chip damage just to get the opponent down, and that's quite important before you Earth Blast. So again, taking 6 damage from this, while it seems bad, if you can use it to get the 4 damage you need on the opponent to make sure Earth Blast will definitely kill them, that's an absolute fine trade to make as well. It's always the last health that matters. Haunted Soul, this is one of the cards that you'll want to Crawling Hand before, because once you Crawling Hand, you'll do 5 damage, hit it straight on, otherwise you are going to be taking 4 damage from it. So it's a little bit like a better Troll Chucker, but it's an Ariane only card, so I guess you can expect that. But the rival's when you kill this, the rival's going to take 5 damage, which is half of the 10 damage you need to get out of the way without Earth Blast, so that's a great effect. Plus, it's going to give you 2 gold, which is a quarter of the way towards Earth Blast. So both of these effects are great for the deck. And the next one is Troll Shaman. This is the card that you kind of want to be saving those crawling hands for, because if you don't, it's going to be doing 16 damage to you. But if you crawling hand before it, it'll do no damage to you. So definitely something you don't want to play on its own, but want to play with one of those combos. If you have a Geeker, you can take only 8 damage off this, which might sometimes be worth it if you're going to win that turn. But definitely watch out for that. If you can crawling hand, always do. The 2 bottom effects you get from this is 2 gold, which is pretty good, and 4 armor, which is a little bit more healing. This deck doesn't really have much healing past Lady Heffin, so a little bit of shielding is always good. And it has the pretty fantastic effect of making your next spell free, which you can use. Sometimes you'll use it on Lady Heffin, basically never. You always want to be using it on Earth Blast, because that means it'll completely get rid of that 8 gold cost. It means you can play Troll Shaman straight into Earth Blast, and no matter the amount of gold that you'll have on hand, you'll always activate the Earth Blast and do double your hand size. So that's most of the combos in the deck. Things to watch out for. I have seen someone play Troll Shaman to get his next spell for free, but then for some reason he had Wind Strike before Earth Blast, so the Wind Strike just became free. Don't do that, because that's going to mean your Earth Blast isn't the next spell, so it's still going to cost 8. That's a little silly thing to watch out for. Make sure you've got your cards in the right order before you end your turn, because there's nothing worse than rushing for it, ending your turn, and having to sit out the entirety of the diamond, thinking, I mucked up. Don't want that. Lady Heffin, don't be afraid to heal for less than 20. While Earth Blast, you always want to be going for the maximum amount of damage, because you can kind of wait a couple of turns before you Earth Blast them. If necessary, you can always Earth Blast if it's going to win you the game before you get 20. Lady Heffin, it's more of a situational card. If you're getting low, play it with as many cards as possible. But if you haven't got the full 20 cards for Lady Heffin, don't worry about it. It's just the heal you want to get out of their damage range before they get into your damage range. So you just want to survive until then. So yeah, that's the basic deck. I usually mention the 2 Sapphire cards that I recommend crafting for this deck. Those are going to be Wind Surge as opposed to Wind Strike. Wind Surge does the effect of you will lose 1 attack, I think it is, and then do 6 damage to the opponent. So yes, it's going to knock you down. It's going to make it so that you're going to be less able to kill things. You can always use Geeker to catch up to that 1 damage for a couple of turns, and it does a lot of the damage needed on the opponent, 6 out of the 10 that you definitely need to find from other sources. So that's a great card. The other one is Black Demon. Black Demon is a very high attack monster that has 5 health, and when you kill it, you do 4 damage to the opponent and also strike the opponent. So if you can play Crawling Hand, you'll gain 3 temporary attack, go up to 5 attack, so that when you kill the Black Demon, because it's got 5 health, not only will you do 4 damage to the opponent, you'll also strike the opponent with the 3 temporary attack. That temporary attack will stay there, so you'll get 5 extra damage on the opponent. So for Crawling Hand, then Black Demon, that'll do 9 damage to the opponent. That's almost 100% of the way there to doing that 10 damage you need before you Earth Blast. So that's a very good combo that a lot of people are running, so watch out for that one, or use it yourself. Okay, that's basically the base Ariane deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be, I believe, 2 more. I might be getting the order wrong. The Raptor and Linza. Linza's going to be a little bit longer than the others, but yeah, those will be coming out the next couple of days. And thanks for watching. I've been Joust, and goodbye.